And this week's quote comes from Paul Craig Roberts, who said, "The real Social Security crisis is that the government does not have the money to redeem its IOUs." Boy, those are some very true words, Mike.
Yeah, and they're kind of scary words. And, the purpose of the show is not to scare you, not to instill fear, but it's to kind of shake you a little bit, rattle your cage, and get you to wake up. Okay. America needs to wake up. According to the Social Security Administration's trustees report for this past year, 2024, which gives a very, very comprehensive overview of the financial status of Social Security. Well, that report highlighted several critical findings and challenges that the program will face within the next 10 years. Okay. And that report is crucial for understanding the future of Social Security and the necessary steps that must happen in order to ensure its sustainability. So, Matt, we're going to dive into some of those key findings of that annual trustees report.
Yeah, let's do it. And first here, Mike, is going to be the reserve depletion date. We've gotten a little bit of a reprieve, I guess. We got another year, I guess, to hold our collective breaths, right?
Yeah. So the projected reserve depletion date, that means when they're going to run out of money for the combined old age, survivors, and disability insurance, which on your pay stub is reflected as OASDI. That trust fund depletion date is now 2035, which is a year later than previously projected. Doesn't that give you a lot of confidence in the system? Specifically, the old age and survivors insurance, which is OASI trust fund, that fund is expected to pay full benefits until 2033, consistent with last year's projection. Meanwhile, the disability insurance, which is the DI trust fund, is projected to maintain full benefit payments through the end of the 75-year projection period, all the way up to 2098. So if you're not disabled, if you're just claiming Social Security, you got until 2033.
A goodie, unless something happens, of course, and of course it's kind of like, who knows what's going to happen in Washington these days. But we are sitting here with our fingers crossed that they will actually do something to shore up Social Security going forward. But the big problem here, Mike, really boils down to what's coming in versus what's going out, right? When it comes to Social Security funding.
Yeah, the income versus cost. The report notes that the OASDI annual cost will exceed total income throughout the 75-year projection period. And after the projected trust fund reserve depletion in 2035, continuing income would only cover 83% of program costs, declining further to only 73% by the year 2098. And that indicates a significant funding shortfall that will need to be addressed in order for folks to maintain full benefits in the future.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, and there are some challenges reflected here in this report, as you've been saying. The primary one that has been identified by the Social Security Administration is that projected depletion of trust fund reserves by 2035. And of course, as you're saying there, Mike, without legislative action, they're going to have to cut benefits.
They are, and that shortfall underscores the urgent need for policy interventions. They have to make changes to the program in order to ensure its long-term viability.
Yep, absolutely right. And so, as we move further on here into 2025, the state of Social Security is really painting a kind of a mixed picture of the slight improvements that we saw, that 1 year reprieve that we're getting on when the combined trust fund is expected to run out of money and then face a shortfall. So, as we talk about that trust fund and it provides benefits for retirees, right, and their families, it's expected to pay full benefits, as we said, until 2033. So that means when the rubber hits the road, Mike, that starting in 2034, without action in Washington, the fund will face a shortfall.
Yeah, I mean, that's 8 years away. So the implications for beneficiaries are significant, okay? If they're depleted, folks are in trouble. And the trustees report serves as a crucial call to action, urging Congress to implement measures that could extend the solvency of the fund, right? Potential solutions could include adjustments to payroll taxes. They could be changes to benefit formulas. They could be raising the retirement age. And, unfortunately, that is not what the general public who's been paying into this. I mean, I've been paying into it. I'm 54, been paying into it since I was 14 years of age. And just the possibility of me not getting what I put into it is kind of catastrophic.
It really, really is. I mean, you expect to get what you pay for. And if that is, if the Social Security is in the situation that it's in and it remains that way without any adjustments, we're all going to be very frustrated that we're not getting what we paid for. And the importance here, I think, Mike, is to highlight the fact that you really need an income plan. You don't need to be relying solely on Social Security in your retirement, right?
You're right, because each of those options comes with its own set of economic as well as social implications that they demand careful consideration. So when we sit down and we look at your portfolio and we look at your assets, we're going to discuss all of your financial goals, your vision for retirement. We'll take a look at your current plan if you have one, as well as what assets you have within your portfolio. And we'll come up with what a plan that we would recommend and answer as many questions that you have about your retirement, including how to not have to depend on Social Security. We like to have Social Security as the cherry on top, and we want to go into retirement with 100% confidence, no matter what happens with the Social Security trust funds.
Yeah, you don't want to be dependent on that, definitely. So get a plan started for yourself today, your own customized retirement plan. Mike Zaino can help you with that and get one in place so that you can have peace of mind, which really is priceless after all. MoneyMattersWithMike.com is the place to go, MoneyMattersWithMike.com, or you can give Mike a call directly at 704-560-1573. That's 704-560-1573.